This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
This Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop Convention and Ranger Stop and Pop. Have you ever wanted to see all your favorite Power Rangers together in one epic convention? Go to Ranger Stop! Ranger Stop and Pop! August 27th to the 29th, 2021! Atlanta, Georgia! Ranger Stop 8! November 11th to the 14th! Orlando, Florida! Get your tickets now! Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Wow.
Wow, what?
That episode. It was a good thing that episode had mushrooms in it because it felt like we're on them.
Well, speaking of shrooms, hello everyone. Welcome to an exciting episode of Sentai Hero Special. And today we're going to review episode 2 of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. And we are going to review the episode. And today's title is called The Roaring Beast is a Real Wildcat. So that is our main title for today's episode, and we're going off. Have a good day.
It's catchy. Bye.
No, I'm just joking, guys. We're going to review it, and we're just going to have fun today. All right? So without further ado, let me just point that sign down. Okay, there you go. All right. So, Quasar Red, what have you been up to?
Not much. It's been raining and snowing and cold all over here. That's about it. What about you?
Well, this is fun. I just went on Instagram and I checked out like Funko just released like new look of the new Mortal Kombat Funkos. So the new Mortal Kombat 2021 Funkos are pretty wild right now, and I got to see an updated design close. I actually looked at some pictures of like the new updated versions of Godzilla versus King Kong Funkos as well, and those are very detailed, and I'm looking forward to putting them on my shelf. And yeah, that's about it.
This should be cool.
Awesome. All right, without further ado, let's get started on today's episode. So today's episode we are going to review is The Roaring Beast is a Real Wildcat. So this episode is going to be introducing a new character. And who is that new character? This guy.
Gao.
His name is Gaon. So Gaon is our third member of the Zenkaigers. And from the looks of it, he is a Kikainoid. From just by looking at the designs, he's a lion mixed a feline, a feline and a cat. Yeah,
I love his dreadlocks; they're hilarious.
Oh,
and for you guys who probably couldn't recognize, unless you're blind, he is the Zenkaiger representative for Hakuju Sentai Gao Ranger.
Yes, Gao Ranger, or as in Power Rangers Wild Force. So if any of you Power Ranger fans, Super Sentai fans, or Kamen Rider fans are familiar with Power Rangers Wild Force was one of the most memorable series like during its Power Rangers time. And I can remember going home after school to catch Wild Force, and I just love like the costumes. I love the characters. Like the actors did a great job. It's just memorable, and even it's also memorable that they showed Forever Red during the Wild Force series.
Yes, Wild Force is one of my most nostalgic seasons because it was the first one I had watched the whole way through on TV. And by the way, you got to watch it after school. I could only catch it on in the mornings.
Ah, I see.
Oh,
Maybe it's just reruns. Maybe
Uh,
just reruns. Yeah, maybe.
oh yeah, true. Okay, so
Alright.
right quick. So Gown is from meant to represent what Gal the Gal Rangers, and he's got inspiration from Gal Yellow. And I keep seeing him, and I keep thinking he's going to be as serious as um, Gal Yellow or Taylor, because the Yellow Rangers of their two teams were kind of the serious members. But we'll find out as the episode progresses. So why don't you take it away?
All right. So in the beginning, our episode starts where we're at the Tochi Tendo's headquarters, and the head honcho, or the evil overlord, Bokowas, he is like, he was so fed up. Like, what happened from the first episode? We have these. Who are these superheroes? These super sentais? These Zenkaigers? Those who defy me will pay! Boom! And everybody, and all of his generals are like jumping in the air because he just slammed his desk. But then we go to the man, that bird. What was that bird's character name? The in Zenkaiger. What was that? Okay.
Sikkim, I think, or sort of. We're still.
And Bokowas has that bird. Is that Yago?
Mm-hmm.
Gigi, yeah.
Gotta love how when he's like resting on Bokowa's shoulders, he is enormous, but like probably when he's interacting with the other generals, suddenly he's really tiny. So
yeah, so Gigi mentioned to Bokowas that, oh, there is this parallel universe, that there are other Super Sentais protecting Earth from in their own time, in their own dimensions, and we just gazed upon like E.G. Rude's like a basket of coins. So those coins are, I thought they were just coins at the beginning, but these things are called like Toji Gear coins. So Toji Gears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Just look at this thing.
Yes, and they currently have all of the previous Super Sentais trapped in there. And so something I hope we could see as the show progresses is maybe show like their perspective. Like do we see like what's going on in their universes? Like do they wonder like why if they're trapped or anything? This would be interesting to learn as the show goes on. Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but just by looking at those coins, and from this episode, I think we're going to get some information, and we're going to get some questions. But as when E.G. Rude heard about heard that Lord Bokowas is so fed up with the Zenkaigers stopping him from conquering Earth, he decides to bring this new monster that is the mushroom. And if we all remember from the last episode, the mushroom incident, it just came out of nowhere when we're close to the end of the episode. So Quasar Red and I are curious, like, who started this? And at this time, we see it's Ijirude. And Ijirude was using one of the Toji Gear coins and put it onto the Kudak's chests. So he just placed that Toji Gear coin that, if you look closely, it's a mushroom. That mushroom, yeah. So he just placed a mushroom Toji Gear coin and placed it on Kudak's chest, and then he formed into the main monster of the episode. That is a giant mushroom purple machine monster.
Very reminiscent of how in Geki Ranger they would or Power Rangers Jungle Fury, as we know, they would like use like one of the henchmen or the Renchi as like the foundation to make a new monster. And so it seems like this series is going to follow a similar thing where they'll have the grunts basically be like the bodies for these monsters. So that's pretty interesting, and that's cool. And I can't really be sure if it's just Geki Ranger that's done this. So it is cool that this is being used here. So, and it does feel pretty unique, or at least original enough. So that's cool. So
You take it, man.
okay, so the mushrooms have started sprouting, and we get to see Gown. You know, so it turns out, like I was saying before, I thought he was going to be like the serious one, but he loves everything soft and cuddly. Like we see him like wanting to pet a puppy, and then he's like just thinks everything is so cute, and like he wants to snuggle with everything. A little creepy there. And then suddenly that's when the mushrooms started to appear, and like
Oh,
yes, and like yeah, I kind of want. I love how like whenever he rips it off, like there's no hole in his head. It's just poop, another one just pops up. So like everyone's like all worried, like what are these things, and like what's happening. And what's also cool is that we also get another cameo from Maji, from the Pink Maji Kai Noibot. She's like, we see her how she's affected too. So that's kind of cool. Having characters that we don't know are gonna yet that are characters that aren't a part of the show yet have little cameos here and there. And so we cut back to the candy shop, and like they're and oh wait, no, that didn't happen yet. So we see Kaito and Juren, like trying to figure out what the deal with the mushrooms are, and then they bump into the general and the mushroom monster on top of a building, which happens, by the way, for people who notice certain details. This is the same place where the Mighty Morphin Rangers fought the Pudgy Pig, but that's another story. And like he starts to attack, and so Kito and Juren start morph, and they start fighting, and they use the abilities of Golgor 5. And
yes.
yes, and Go-Go 5, they had a very hardcore, blunt weapons. They used ribbons, like twirl ribbons as their as their tools in fighting evil. So yeah, like Jiren and Zenkaiger are like just running around twirling these ribbons, and it's apparently really affecting the monster. He's just like, oh,
Look at this.
yes, and they even form a jump rope, and then like they manage to trip the monster, and then they manage to shock it, and so it forces, and so they manage to kind of overwhelm them, and so they force them to retreat. By the way, what was it was Professor what again? Who's the
Ijirude.
Professor Ijirude. So they hit the road, to come up with a new plan. And then we cut back to the candy shop where Juren is kind of explaining the story of what the
Toji Tendos.
The Toji Tendo's dynasty, how they waged war in the world that they were in, and that they were just like a bunch of evil rust buckets and all. And they tried to take their and they tried to take over the Kainoid world, and now they're setting their sights on the main Earth. And so the Zenkaigers realize that they're going to need a little extra help. So the next day, they go out and promote that they're advertising new members, like they need new members to fight with them, and like naturally, and like everyone at first is just like, no, we don't want to be a part of this. This is too dangerous. But they also and like they all run off, and like so Kaito and Juren are a little overwhelmed by this. By the way, one more thing, and then you take it. Gotta give a little props to, well, for lack to quote Linkara, the props in this season, or in this episode. They actually plant little mushrooms all over like in various places they were filming. So it is kind of cool that they, went to so much trouble to, stress this mushroom crisis. So yeah, Juren and Kaito are, talking about how they're bummed that no one seems like they're willing to join the Zenkaigers and stop this thing. And then what happens?
All right. So what happens after that is yeah. So when they were looking for hiring for like recruiting a new member for the Zenkaigers, Gaon he just joined. He just stopped. He happened to walk by and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to join the Zenkaigers. I was just interested if you like to be my friend." Oh, we were just recruiting, but we're recruiting. Come on, man. Oh, but I just want this whole. I just want to be a friend, so then I could avoid the Toji Tendo dynasty.
Mhm.
Really? So you want to be friends with us, so you can avoid the bad guys. But he's like, no, I really don't want to avoid. It's just that they're just cold and not unattractive, and nothing good comes out of it. Just by looking at all those cute animals, I just want to hug them, and watching them makes my heart overflow with love. Oh, the animals. Oh,
You sound like him from Powerpuff Girls.
Tosia, the animals are so good. Yeah. So Gaon, just by reading and acting like this, he could be a fit. He could be a good fit in the zoology field.
Hmm. Maybe
Yeah.
he could take that up when the series ends.
Yeah, and also I like to mention, so Power Ranger fans, Super Sentai fans, if you guys are aware, like during the beginning of the fight scene when Zenkaigers and when Zenkaiser and Jiran when they're fighting the mushroom in the beginning, didn't Ijiru said that he created those Toji Gear coins?
Yes, the general said he created them, and then
His parents made them too.
Keto, yeah, he says that he also invented some gears of his own. So interesting.
So this gives me an idea. So what are those? What did Ijiru do to create those coins, and what did the parents do to create those coins? Do they happen to meet in the same world with the same level of technology to create these things? No idea. So it's like the bad guys and the good guys have like the same knowledge of how to create these coins.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting. Wait, what?
But who originally made them?
Yes, that'll be interesting to explore. Something I want to mention right quick before we continue. So we little spoiler for ahead. So we know how that Juren and Gao Noin and the other two Zenkaigers, they use the abilities based off, the Zhu Rangers, the Gao Rangers, Maji Rangers, and Bokengers. Now that's cool and that's fine. But something I was kind of hoping the show would explain is why they resemble the warriors from those seasons. And so far, it doesn't look like there's a reason for this. So I'm hoping as the show progresses, they will reveal the reason behind this, like whether or not these kainoids are like these were built by the parents after they studied the other sentais. That would be interesting to learn. I do hope that we at least get an in-universe reason for why they look the way they do. So anyway.
Yeah, I'm also curious about that too, because what is so unique about these Kikainoids that is Jiren, Gaon, and the other the other remaining two members, that is the pink robot and the blue robot.
Yes.
Like, what makes them so unique that they're worthy to be Zenkaigers and not the other Kikainoids, like just regular ones?
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, yeah, like I said, hopefully this will be revealed as the show goes on, and they just don't, ignore it the rest of and they don't just, not acknowledge it. Kind of like how in Super Sentai Strongest Battle, none of the dinosaur teams were invited to, Planet Nemesis, and yet somehow Canelo and Canelo, or not Canelo, and suddenly Ryusoul Black and Green are invited, even though they're dinosaur themed, and that was never explained. So let's hope that they'll do something. They will explain this, these resemblances. So,
All right, so as we move on, the whole so Kaito is so excited that he made a new friend that is Gaon, and both of them decide to go on and enjoy their day. And as Jurin and Kaito are figuring out their plan for dinner, that is, they're craving for mushrooms. The Ijirud and the Shroom Monster, they are executing their phase 2 of their plan, and as you can see, he said, but now let's proceed to the next phase. And what is that next phase? Oh, this is devastating. The mushrooms release their toxic spores to the world. So
Yeah.
like everybody, it's like anyone who has that mushroom on their head, like it's gonna release a toxic spores that will hurt or like or stop. I don't know how do you put it.
Poison them.
Poison or like stop or hurt them or hurt their systems. Like I don't know. I don't know much about mushrooms, but all I know is that if you eat a wild mushroom that you have no knowledge of, sooner or later you're gonna get a bad stomach ache, or it's gonna be poisonous and it's gonna damage your organs and it's gonna kill you.
Yes, and like I said last week, I made that joke about, or I mentioned how in one of the Batman comics, Poison Ivy, she spread like toxic spores to the people of Gotham City, and so this is kind of like that. Although this would probably not be as painful because in that story, like the spores were coming out of people's mouths and eyes, but here it's just kind of spraying on them. So yeah, there sounds like a very painful experience, and some of those citizens were just like, yeah, these mushrooms aren't too bad. They look
But what's even more tragic was that Gaon was at a pet shop, and when he's at the pet shop, as the spore released their toxic spores, the cute little pets, like the baby pets, are being infected, and they're like crying and they're hurting, and I was like, oh man, really? That is just cruel, man. Like you're releasing these spores and you're hurting like innocent animals that are just recently born and they don't deserve to feel the pain. And now Gowan was so mad that this shroom monster is unleashing this painful toxic mushroom spores on the innocent little animals. He has just had enough that he's decided to join the team.
Right, and you gotta love how you gotta wonder how long the crew members were filming those animals to try and make it look like they were sick or were being affected, because
Oh yeah, I bet the training process was a little like time consuming.
So
Yeah.
I didn't spend 10 weeks of piano juggling lessons for you to wimp out now. So so do you want to go next, or do you want to keep going?
You will take this. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you take this. So Gaon decided to join the team when Kaito and Juren found Ijirud and the Shroom on the roof, and you take it.
Okay, so Gaon decided to join them, and he wants to be a Rhea soldier. Sorry, I'm holding Dino Fury suit, so that's why I said a Rhea soldier. He decides he wants to be a Zenkaiger now. He made up his mind a little too soon, and they get ready to fight, and like they hand him a gun, and of course.
Boom!
I love how all the bad guys.
So Gaon pulled a Han Solo too. It's like these Kikainoids have that same Harrison Ford instinct, like shoot first, ask questions later.
Right. I would I would love it if they should definitely make this a thing for Pink and Blue. Like when they first debut, it's just someone shoots a grunt, and the bad guys are all just like, eh? That would be hilarious.
This should be a Super Sentai meme. Attack first, ask monologue later.
Oh, and it's kind of like how when we started reviewing Beast Morphers, how they were doing drop kicks, on the bad guys, and so these guys are doing, quick shots. Also, one other thing about this, if they ever meet any of the Gokaigers and like the Gokaigers see them, do this, where they shoot someone while they're in the middle of a monologue. It would be hilarious if they would just be like, nice.
Yeah.
So Gal joins the team. They morph, and now another member has joined, and so he. So what was his?
Woo! Zenkai Gaon.
Yow! I would love it if they could have played the Gal Ranger theme right here. And also, not many Super Sentai members can say that they've had mushroom. They had a plant growing out of their heads when they were when they first started. Anyway, so they start battling and they're doing pretty good, and then suddenly they decide to use another attack, and this is from Nippo Sentai Hurricanja. And
Hurricaneger, yes.
to Sentai. And and you gotta love how, so naturally Gaon is, a yellow lion, the yellow member of the team, and you gotta love how Jurin is using Hurricane Yellow's ability, and he gets Hurricane Blue's. It was just kind of funny how that worked. So they use the Hurricane attack, and they do the Ninja Shadow Battle, where
yes,
where like they are where like they take out all the minions, where they take out all the minions, and through with this like door, with this screen door covering them, which was an attack we saw often in Hurricaneger and Ninja Storm. So anyway, so the battle continues, and like they're just going, oh my gosh, that was so fast, and like they manage to Jiren gets knocked back, and he's a little annoyed, and like Zenkai Gaon and Kikai Kaido, they manage to destroy the mushroom monster, and then the general, he launches a new, another giant, like before. Only this time, when he steps on the mushroom, he becomes that creature too. So that's kind of cool. It's very much like what we were saying last week about when they launch an attack, the giant monster will take on the theme of what the smaller one was. So at least they're not like Baymaxes like it was back in I think it was five men, where they launched giant Baymaxes to be the giants. Anyway, so the battle continues. Like, they managed to free the citizens from the spores, but once the giant comes out, he manages to cover the whole city in even bigger ones. So yeah, this I don't know why, I really love the effects in this episode. It looks really cool, and it almost gives off a video game vibe. So Juren grows giant size and starts to battle him, and Zenkai, and then Gaon does too. And you want to take it?
Oh yeah, sure. So, but this leaves me a question. So, when the Zenkaigers finally defeat their monster, they'll turn back into coin form. And once they turn into coin form, and when Ijiru called that giant monster, it accidentally stepped on the coin, and it's like a accidental power boost. And of course, he just turned into this giant mushroom. But it's the same design from the monster, but it has the same like dino body, but the head piece is like the exact same that is from the monster in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And just by looking at this whole mushroom infested city, it kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, like when the caterpillar is like telling Alice, like, one side will make you grow taller and the other side will make you grow small. But the other side of what? The mushrooms, of course.
I guess. Today's episode was a very important one about drug use, but remember, it's no laughing matter. For more information, visit your local library. There's probably a guy behind there that sells drugs.
Yep. All right. As we move on, we see Gaon finally turn into a Megazord form, and just look at that Megazord. Wow, it's kind of like the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Red Lion, except this lion is more freshly like freshed out of the oven, like it's brand new, it's hype, and it does have a really cool design to celebrate the 45 years of Super Sentai. Oh man, I'm just blown away by this Megazord and also the T-Rex design for Jiren Zord as well. Even though it's a little bit like it has a big head and a smaller body for a T-Rex, but I don't know. I kind of like the Z Ranger T-Rex more, but there's so many T-Rex designs of Zords these days in Super Sentai. But we're just we're picky and we have our own opinions on T-Rex Zords. But as we go on and see Jiren and Gaon are fighting together to face off this giant mushroom monster, it seems like they don't have chemistry to work together as a team. Like no teamwork at all. So Gaon just butted in during Jiren's like move, and he's like, "Hey, get out of the way! Hey, what are you doing?" And as they are like arguing and fighting, the mushroom monster just caught him in an opening attack and just hit them, and they're in a serious trouble like at the moment. But that's when Zenkaiger is thinking about going big as well. And I was like, can he do that? No way he can do that. No. But as he fires his morpher or his gun, something amazing happened. And do you want to take it?
Yes. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah.
Yes,
So most likely because Kaido is human and all, he can't grow the same way the other the way Jiren and Gao does. So what his special ability can do is he can actually merge these two together, and so he grows giant size and okay. What happens? So I'm sorry. I can't. It's going to be hard to actually say this. Jiren and Gaon kiss, and suddenly they're just like, what the heck, and then suddenly their bodies start switching out and rotating and all, and coming undone, and then one guy forms one side and the other forms the other, and they come together and they form this.
Woo! Wow! It is the Zenkai o Jure Gaon.
That's it. That's quite a title. Yes.
Jure Gaon.
Yes. The design looks pretty cool. What do you think?
Oh man, just looking at one side, it is the lion piece and the T-Rex piece. This is pretty fun. Just by looking at the Megazord, this is going to be a fun series to talk about and enjoy watching, because you see these Zords merging together. Like I've seen Megazords form together as one incredible Zord, but seeing that these Zords have different personalities and have no teamwork at all, I would like to see how these two work out.
Yes. And also because it is basically our heroes just becoming giant size, and we also get to hear them affected. While I may think this bit is goofy and all, I do kind of appreciate little details, like we can hear them kind of questioning what the heck is happening when their bodies warp, and then also they feel a little uncomfortable, and how they don't really do it right the first time, because when they try and fight, they split the Zord apart, which was cool, or which was funny. So also I kind of feel like the baseball field and the whole kissing thing is a tad unnecessary, so hopefully we can bypass that as the show progresses, or make it less weird. But anyway, so they fight the mushroom monster on top of a giant one, by the way, and the fight goes pretty well, and they manage to destroy the mushroom beast, and then something interesting happens. So back in the Kikainoid layer,
And those Tochi Tendo headquarters.
Tochi Tendo headquarters. Yes. Sorry. Like I said, I'll learn these names. I promise. We see this totally unrelevant janitor dude. See that the mushroom world has been freed from its gear, and it's just like interesting. And then suddenly we cut back to the candy shop where Gaon is introduced to Kaido's grandma, and they try and welcome him, and he's also introduced to their bird creature, and Gaon is being kind of weird. He's saying he doesn't really seem interested in anyone other than Kaito. And even Jiren and the bird are a little annoyed by this, and they even suggest going and finding new members right then and there. But Gaon's saying, "No, I'm talking to him right now." They're keeping them from doing anything else. So that's interesting. So Gaon doesn't seem to be quite a team player yet. So this should be interesting as the show progresses. So. Yes, and that is where the episode ends.
Mm-hmm. So. And what's even interesting that Gaon, every time Jiren is trying to talk to Gaon just avoids him, or just oh hey, and it's like when Jiren is trying to speak to Gaon just deliberately ignoring him, or is he is it by accident, or is he have focusing attention span or something? But as we see, I don't know. Okay, Power Ranger fans, Super Sentai fans, I don't have a cat, or I don't know how cat thinks, but I have a feeling that when cats are seen or appreciated by their masters or their owners, they would require a lot of attention. I don't know, but it seems like Gaon is the kind of Kikai Noid who would like to have a lot of attention, because a cat likes attention.
Right. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense now. So we'll see what kind of drama or tension comes from this. Also, when Gaon and Jiren are arguing when they're in their Zord forms, it kind of makes me think of that ending to Falling Kingdom when the T-Rex breaks into the zoo and roars at the lion. So.
Oh.
Anyways,
also there, just by looking at this picture, you see that mushroom leaving out of that Toji gear coin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the cleaner bot says, and the janitor bot says, "Oh, the shroom is liberated." Okay, so does that mean that every time a Zenkaiger defeats a monster that has been used as a power up by these monster coins, and once these monster coins are defeated and they break, does that mean that certain planet that was taken from that planet that is already implanted into the coin is now free or liberated from Tochi Tendo?
Yeah, that would be interesting. So that could be kind of cool as we progress. Throughout the season, they, with each monster, they destroy it, and then they also destroy the gear, and that frees it. So
yeah, it's like if the Tochi Tendos were to conquer, say, a carrot planet, and every carrot citizen, or all the powers of the carrot planet has been taken into this coin, and once the Zenkaigers defeat that coin and it breaks, then the power and the spirit of the power source of the carrot planet will be restored, and they are free from the clutches of Tochi Tendo.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
that'd be cool.
Wow, yeah. It's getting serious. And all right, so that is the end of the episode. And Quasar Red, what do you think of the episode?
It felt psychedelic, man. Like I said, it was very fitting that this episode had mushrooms in it, because it felt like everything was just going off the walls, insane. What's interesting is that Gao, Noin, and Jiren, I'm very interested to see this clashing. It's this is the third Sentai I've seen, and we're having like we said in Rhea Soldier, all the team, like there was some tension, but then they worked through it pretty well. And then like with Kira Major, Takamichi kind of brought some drama, but then he started to settle in very well. Here, it seems these are, still full main members of the team, and so there doesn't look like there's a real bond yet. So that'll be, like I said, that's going to be very interesting to explore. So hopefully it doesn't go by the wayside like in Kara Major. Let's see. The Megazord fight was cool. Like I said, I really do hope they move past the whole needing to kiss to combine. And like I said, I enjoyed the fight scenes, and it was cool to see, Gogo, and it was funny to see Gogo 5 and Hurricaneger be used. So, yeah, I think this is a fun episode, but it is also really, really insane. Also, something I want to mention before I give my score. So we were talking about how Gown in his lion form, it's kind of funny. You said he kind of looked like the Lost Galaxy Red Ranger Zord. So it's kind of funny. He's a lion from Gal Ranger that's yellow that kind of looks like the lion from Ginga Man. So it's like he's mixing 3 different lion Zords into one, which is kind of funny. So anyway, overall score for this episode, I would probably give it an 8. Like I said, it's a fun episode. It's a good intro for Gown, but overall, like I said, just really, really, really bizarre.
Okay. I give this an 8 out of 10 as well. I did like the introduction of Gown, and I didn't expect that Gown would be this be this kind of optimistic lion cat bot who loves all kinds of animals out there in the world. And he's a sweet character, and he can be a little bit, I don't know, sidestepping, like trying to avoid like he doesn't talk to Jiren for some reason, and I just don't know why. But I think we're gonna figure out more in the next few episodes. But he did mention saying that he thinks that Kikainoids or the Tojitendos, like his same kind, are just like cold. They're not beautiful. They're not cute, and like it doesn't deserve Gowan attention.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he just doesn't like. He just likes beautiful things and cute stuff. So those are the only things that attract Gown. And I do like the Megazords. I do like the Megazord design, and I can never forget like the Killer Majors, Rhea Soldiers, and Lupin Rangers, Pato Rangers Megazord. But this one is also memorable as well. So this gives it an 8 out of 10, and I'm starting to like this series. And I'm looking forward to the next 2 more episodes, because they're going to introduce the next few members of the Zenkaigers.
Right. Something I want to mention right quick that I think could be interesting. I'm sorry, and then we'll go to comments. So the blue Zenkaiger, he is, the bad guy's janitor, or he's the cleaner guy. Then like he's in the bad guy lair. So how he joins the team, I think it'd be very cool if they actually, like the other Zenkaigers, actually go to the Dynasty's base and like try and figure out their plans or something. Like, and that's how they bump into him, and like how he ends up joining. I think that would be cool. I think if he just gets exiled from the lair and they bump into him that way, that'd just be kind of too simple. So I think it would be cool and a little more proactive if if the Zenkaigers actually think, hey, maybe we should sneak in and see what these robots are up to, and then they just happen to bump into a new ally while they're there. So that would just be something I think would be interesting to do anyway.
All right. Well, that is our review for this episode. And what do you guys think? Do you guys agree that you give it an 8 out of 10 as well, or do you give it as a different rating as we do? But before then, we're just going to go check our comments to see what we are hearing from all you fans.
Mm-hmm.
So Prathamish says hi. Hey. Yeah, this show gives the feel of RPM vibes. Okay. Do you
Right.
think it's an RPM vibe?
Kind of, and I also kind of got a little Shattered Grid from it.
That's my dad. Here
Oh.
we are, Go Rangers.
Hello,
Yep.
Mr. Liao. Wow.
All right, and Droopy says, "It's me, Christian." Oh, so Christian, you just changed his username to Droopy TTCC, or wait, got my gearling. Oh, wow, he got his bang. Wow, I can't believe he just got his toy so quickly and fast. All right. So this show also reminds me of SPD aliens and humans live together.
Right, and it also kind of gives me a bit of a Legend of well, with the mushrooms in today's episode. It also kind of reminds me of how in Legend of Korra they had spirits integrate with humanity too. So.
And Prathamish says, I am also starting my own podcast, which is coming soon.
Oh,
All right, Prathamish. Well, if you're going to start your own podcast, we wish you luck, and we'll check it out if we have the time.
Hope for the best.
And Jake says, we already have some Sentai former suits. Oh, Sentai former suits already? Hurricaneger! Yes, the Hurricaneger was so fun. I just love seeing like the past Super Sentais making their small, like short appearance to help the Zenkaigers.
Nit to Sentai.
My prediction for Dream Sentai Team for 45th anniversary for Zenkaiger movie will be Gokai Red, Lupin Blue, Sasori Orange, Kirame Pink, and Ryuso Black.
That'd be interesting.
Oh, yes. Alejandro, I really like Power Rangers. Yes. Emmanuel says, guys, who do you want to replace Shane, a legend, as the Red Ranger?
I don't know if we can really answer that question. That's a bit of a big one. But and they'd also have to have a really good story to go with it as well. So.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to see Vroom have like 2 episodes of how he escapes Toji Tendo?
Oh, yeah. Vroom is the blue one, right?
Yeah, I think Vroom is the blue one.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like I said, it would be really interesting if they bump into him in their lair, in the bad guy's lair, rather than he just somehow finds himself on Earth or just suddenly ends up there. So
yeah. I liked how both shot the same henchman when they got the Gearlinger. Oh man, why do they shoot first? It's like, oh, I want to test this out. Let me try. Boom. Oh, that's what it does. Oh gosh. Sorry.
They should in their final battle. They should definitely have that be a thing. Like the bad guys monologuing, and then they all just shoot, and like all of it. And like he's like, dang it.
That was also funny. Yes, I was laughing when Gowan just shot first. Oh man.
It was, by the way, for your viewers, it was Clement's turn to get the screenshots this week, and so when I saw that, I was hoping he got it, and he did. Good job, by the way.
All right. Basil also says I would give it an 8 as well. Thank you for agreeing with us. Thank you. And review time with JP. Zenkaiger is off to a good start already. All right. Do you agree with that?
I think it's definitely interesting, so it's got my attention. So I guess it is a good start for the show.
Okay. I changed the name for Toontown Game. I see. And also wonder how Zenkaiger parents connect with the villains. Oh,
that'd be interesting.
How do you think it will be connected to the Toji Tendos with the parents?
Hopefully, that could make for some interesting stories. Like maybe, like they were trying to stop them, or maybe they even aligned with them. That could be an interesting story to develop.
Oh, if the parents did align with the Toji Tendos and trying to reason with Kaito, that will be a very harsh decision.
Yes. Or
Oh yeah, that'll be an insane moment in Super Sentai just in the 45 years. That'll be insane. Well, anyways, that is all of our comments, and as we like to say, thank you all for tuning in today's episode. And wow, 2 episodes, and we still have no idea how many episodes this series is going to have, but I'm hoping maybe 51 episodes. If that's a lot, then oh man, there's so many to cover. I'm getting tired. Oh, I just need a nap.
Well, it's a long road ahead, dude.
Very long road. All right. Well, thank you all for watching today's episode. And next week we'll keep you guys posted for us to set up for the review for episode 3 of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. And I hope all of you are catching up with me and Quasar Red as well for this series, because come on, 2 episodes already out. That's a good start. But if you've already missed out the last 2 series that we reviewed, you're behind, and you're
on the luck.
Yeah, you better start, because Rhea Soldier and Kira Major are every episode is out. It's complete. All of them are completed. Check them out. They're great. But like our overview reviews for those 2 series, they're like good to watch for a one-time thing, and then it's a good memory for Super Sentai.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to say?
Anyway, Kirame King. Oh wait, that was last year.
Wrong one.
What was it again?
Zenryoku Zenkai.
Zenryoku Senkai. Yeah, that'll take some.
Zenryoku Senkai.
That'll take a little getting used to, but
it'll take time. Well, thank you all for watching today's episode, and we hope to see you soon next week, and we'll keep you guys posted. And if you guys like to follow us, you can find me on Instagram, that's CLiao1031, and also on Facebook and YouTube, there's the Morphin Network. What about you?
Hey, find me on Morphin Network as well as QR Ranger Book and QR and Brown_K.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and we will see you guys next week, and I hope everybody stay safe and stay healthy, and you guys have a wonderful week, and Zenryoku Zenkai! All right. I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Time for us to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Peace.
Okay. Peace. Bye, guys.